Hi everyone, Dr. Shishini presenting here. I'll be speaking on the topic today on Introduction to Research. So let's understand what is research. The topics that I'm going to cover up today is going to be meaning of research, objectives of research, types of research, scope of research, research approaches, research process, research design, research methods versus research methodology, steps in research, problem formulation, statement of research objective, exploratory, descriptive, and experimental research. So let's understand what is research. Research is all about seeking answers to the questions and finding solution to the problems. Let's list out few problems. Traffic conditions in every metro cities. How can we find out a solution to this particular problem? There are various mysterious questions which are being asked for unknown phenomena. How can we find an answer towards it? That is research. Now let's understand in depth about research. A systematic search for an answer. So you go step by step to find out an answer to a question and a solution to a problem is called basically a research. Research is obviously systematic in nature. It also includes a logical study where an issue or a problem is studied step by step to finally come into the conclusion and to identify the root cause of the problem and in turn finding the solution to the problem. Now, let's understand much better about what exactly does research approaches tells to all of us. How do we approach the research? There are various ways for approaching the research. Arbitrary or unscientific method and scientific method. Now to understand what is arbitrary or unscientific method, let us understand in depth about it. Remember long time back, somebody told earth was flat. So that is obviously could be there is no evidence which upon which on the blind belief or probably on the imagination somebody told on an opinionated way that earth was flat. But does it give you a right solution to your problem? No. So but this is one of the way we approach research, that is arbitrary or unscientific method. Now the next one is scientific method. Now, what exactly scientific method tells? Scientific method is all about you are very precise about your problem, you frame objectives towards it, and you come precisely with the logical step by step solutions. Finally, you come out with the conclusion with the verifiable evidences. Without the evidences in scientific method, we cannot find a solution to a problem or we cannot basically go further with the research. Now, continuing with the same, there is one more method for approaching towards the research. So what is that approach is quantitative approach. So how do we go towards the quantitative approach? Let me make you understand on this topic. Quantitative, when you just listen to the word quantitative, is all about numbers. It's all about numbers. Now, if your numbers proves to be in a company or an organization, if your numbers proves to be in a positive in nature, yes, you're earning profit. If your numbers proves to be negative in nature, it means you're incurring losses. So this is how we approach to the quantitative research. Now, quantitative research completely depends on the data, on the information, and the verifiable facts. Now, how do you basically approach towards this? Probably you can use a various statistical tools and come out with the conclusions finally. This statistical tools and quantitative research is basically used in the companies to ascertain a profit and loss statement, probably a sales of the company, it could be a demand appropriation. All these things can be easily ascertained by approaching to the research in the form of quantitative in nature. Now, this is just one of an example how we compare the data. Let's take for an example, we are trying to understand the sales graph of various years from 2019 to 2020, 2020 to 2021. We see that have the sales figure increased or decreased. We need to compare the data and also make a demand estimation for the future. Now, the next way of approaching the research is qualitative research. Now, how do we approach this qualitative research is all about, let's take for an example, in an organization, the HR job is basically to understand how well the employees in the organization are satisfied or not. Now, if the employees are satisfied, how do we understand that? frame the questions on the basis of the satisfaction, and give them the rating in the form of any kind of scales, and measure it, probably 1 to 5, 1 to 10. How to basically on that measure it. Now this is basically a qualitative research in which in-depth emotion of a human being is being assessed. But yes, it is in obviously a numerical form. We need to assess in a numerical form. Now, how exactly human behave at various circumstances in various situations? Let me give you a very easiest example. If you have recently watched a movie, okay, in Book My Show, they will give you a rating. They will tell you to do a rating on it. How was your experience? How was the movie? Did you like the movie? Can you give the feedback on the same? So this is about inner significance, or it could be a deeper significance or emotional or behavioral interaction about a particular situation or a phenomena. So this is all about qualitative research. Now, thank you so much. I have explained to you today about what is research and what are the research approaches. Under research approaches, I explained to you on the topic arbitrary, scientific, qualitative, and quantitative. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.